Hello everybody and welcome to our online class. In this video, I would like to show you how to navigate through the online classes that I will be teaching in Blackboard. And so basically the shell and the video that you see is a basic shell of an online class, and in particular this is a gaming class, gaming network architecture class I taught previously. So I will go through different areas of the class that pertain to all of the classes I teach. And in certain specific aspects and areas of the class that relates to your particular class that you're taking now, um, you should be able to easily navigate on your own once you have the basics of how I generally organize my classes on Blackboard. You get a hold of that. And this video is supposed to show you these very basics. Um, when you log into your course, and this is basically my version of the student view, it may be slightly different than what you have, but generally speaking, um, the movement and the navigation and the kinds of areas that you see here should be fairly similar to your student view there. In the classes that I teach, you basically have the main view, the main content area of the class, and then on the left hand side you have your navigation menu. The most important part of the class that has all the information that you need to know about this class is under the syllabus and schedule section. So if you click on it, you'll be able to see the syllabus of your course in the form of a PDF file. So you click on it, open it, print it. Whenever you have questions about how grades are calculated, when tentatively homeworks are going to be scheduled, you should consult the syllabus. Of course, the syllabus will change, may change as the class goes on, but it should give you a good overview of the contents of the class. Things that won't change from the syllabus would be how your grades are calculated, the percentage of your assignments, what grade letters you would get at the end of the semester based on your score, and the textbooks and the content that are needed for the class. Things that may change essentially are the tentative schedule. One unit might take more than what is expected, so we might spend a little bit more time depending on the class interest, and some units we might cover them faster if the class seems to be getting the content relatively fast and there's a need to move forward. So that's the syllabus. Then on top of the syllabus section, you usually see the course content homepage. And in the course homepage, you basically have the main links to the main areas of the course. For example, in this class, and in almost all classes that I teach, there's going to be a course content link. If you click on it, you're going to pop into where units are. And they're going to be ordered chronologically. And usually what's going to happen is that they will be added as we go on. So you won't see the entire course content populated from the beginning. That helps avoiding confusions and so forth. So basically, well, from the first week of the class, you will see the unit 1 or the introduction unit or whatnot, and then usually you'd see the time line of how best it would be to access this content, and then the approximate study time that content might take, and then whatever's inside of that content. That unit. And they're going to be in this form of learning units. So they're going to be a little notebook with little tabs. The icon for them looks like this. The best access time is basically what I have in mind as far as the chronological relationship between the contents. And so that doesn't mean that you have to access the content in that specific time period, although it would be best to keep relative access to these content pages. So for example, the unit 1 in this particular course says 8:26 to 9:02, so that's 26th of August to the 2nd of September, which means that anytime that week, if you access and finish the content material for that course, that would be preferred. But say you're busy that week, and you can access your class on the 3rd or 4th or 5th of September, the content unit will be available. and so you can access it. But it would be best before you go to Unit 2 to actually finish up Unit 1 and then move on to Unit 2. So you can pack several units into the same time period, or you can expand your pace. However, one thing that you need to really be mindful about is every single week access your Blackboard and see what new content is available, and the contents that you don't have time to spend the time to, it would be best to click on them and just go over and see what's going on in that content. Usually when you click on the units, you'll see a table of content on the left. Sometimes you might take a little bit time for it to populate. Be patient a little bit. So if you click on it and you see just information popping up, or just the first two sections popping up and nothing pops up into it, don't assume that this content is empty or nothing is uploaded. And if it doesn't populate, let me know. And then usually the first page that you see is the overview of what is in that content. You can navigate through it by either clicking on the little next and previous icons on the table of content, or next and previous icons on the main page, or you can expand the content folders and see what is inside of these contents. So for example, here in the lecture video section, there are 2 lecture videos uploaded. In the PowerPoint slide section, there's PowerPoints uploaded. Your class might have a slightly different variation of the contents, organizational structure, but generally speaking, contents will be organized into lecture materials, student activities, and course resources, such as whether there's an assignment out there, and so forth. PowerPoint slides, maybe further reading documents in the form of PDF files or web contents and stuff like that, so you'll be able to access those. And when you click on each of these contents, on the right side, you're going to see a little page opening up. If it doesn't open up in the main page, it's going to give you a link to open it differently. Usually under the student activities, you will see whether there are discussions out there, there's surveys, homework assignments, and so forth. So as I said in the overview, when a new content is out every week, when you look around and new content is out, just click on the learning units every week and then go and see what student materials, student activities are required. So in case that you can't access or you don't have time to spend this week during the best access time, if there's an assignment released, you will be able to actually look at it and see and kind of pace yourself to be able to submit your assignment in a timely manner. Moving back to the course homepage, so again, for the course content, you will be able to see all your learning units populating, and I'll try to put them in the chronological order, so the newest ones will be on top, and then you will have the materials there. Now, if you basically do this, essentially every week you go to course contents and go to that unit that's released, and maybe sometimes a unit may be to be covered over 2 weeks or a 3-week period, the content will be available for the entire time, and the entire time the approximation time will change. For example, the chat section here for Unit 6, approximate study time was 7 hours. That means that this is available for 2 weeks, or the best access for this unit or completion time for this unit is 2 weeks in October. So, if you go the first week of October, you'll see that Unit 6 chat is on top. If you go back next week, that same unit is still going to be available there for you to see. So Unit 7 is not going to be uploaded before the completion time of Unit 6. And so, this way, all of your course is structured and organized to be able to cover for you to go over and finish your course of study. Now, there are certain areas, there are certain things within the learning units that are stored somewhere else on the course. For example, the 2 most important pieces of course are student activities in the form of assignments and in the form of discussion boards. So each learning content will essentially have an assignment associated with it. Sometimes the assignments are mini assignments, and sometimes there are homework assignments. So with the mini assignments, you usually go on and do whatever is asked to do, which is relatively straightforward, and sometimes they're your recreation of the programs and the tools that we created within that learning unit. And for the homework assignments, they're going to be more involved and require some more work at home on your part. There are two ways to access these things. You can go to your learning unit, and under the student activities, there's going to be usually a link to the assignment section, and when you click on it, you'll see the assignment popping up, or it will take you to the assignment unit for or the assignment section of your homepage. And the assignment section is where you can access all of the so far released assignments. You won't be able to see well, actually here apparently our links have changed, but in the assignment section you will be able to see the so far released assignments and the ones that are past due. But the ones that have not been released, you won't be able to see them. Same with your discussion board. If a learning unit requires discussion and activities as such, you will have links to them. Let's see, for example, student activities, there's going to be a discussion page for it. If you click on it, it's going to take you to the discussion board, and then you can open up your discussion forum. So there's one way to access those is through discussions this way, or to go to the discussion board directly from the left tab and see what kinds of activities are posted. With your PowerPoint presentations, your resources that you need, your further reading assignments, same thing will apply. On the left side, there's going to be a navigational tab that you could click and access, or you could go to the appropriate learning unit and then click on the links in the learning unit to access your assignments or additional resources. So basically, this is an overview of how you will be able to participate in the classroom. To recap, you've got your left navigation tab that has the links to where your course materials are organized in the form of syllabus, course contents, learning units, assignments, assessments, resources, and your discussion boards and forums. On the main page, whenever you click on either one of these sections, you will have the content folder of that section open up. For example, course content. So on the course content, all your learning units will be structured. Each of the learning units will have a best access time, best completion time, study time approximately, and the content overview. And when you click on it, you will be able to see what is required of you to do and what materials are available to you to do the required topics and materials of you in that learning unit. Alternatively, for each of these sections, there would be a link to them on the left navigation tab. So you will have access to all of the contents of the learning units from the left navigation tab or from within the learning unit itself. This way, you will be able to basically participate and organize your way of studying in this course to suit you best. So this being said, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully this have answered some of your questions about how this class is organized. And so the rest of it really depends on your particular class that you're taking with me. And the organization generally follows this structure with minor differences, and you should be able to figure that piece out on your own. Again, welcome to the classes and this semester, and we will talk to you in the next section when I will be delivering the course introduction. Thank you.